All right, Jesse on fire. Welcome back. So I started this a little bit early because you know what I'm doing right now? Let me rewind. I want to tell you guys that the channel runs on the support of my viewers and the support of certain sponsors that are not afraid to just be like, yeah, this guy says whatever he wants, and we're down with that. And I just did a really big deal with Prize Picks that I'm going to be promoting them for the rest of the entire football season. Very exciting. Biggest deal that I've ever done in terms of length. And anyway, it's very exciting. So I wanted to take this moment to plug Prize Picks at the beginning of this video. And what we're going to do with it before we get into, by the way, the craziest story ever about Kamala Harris's husband beating up a woman that the reason why I said, in the thumbnail, he only beats up women when they deserve it is, I don't know. For me, it's like, okay, this guy did this. And you're like, okay, why? Honestly, the reason he did it is almost more insane than the fact that he did it. But anyway, okay. But let's talk about Prize Picks real quick while people get on, dude. All right. So we are Prize Picks is literally the best game ever. I love this game, man. It's super fun. Okay. It makes it to where you're picking things that are, it's not sports betting, but if you're gonna, put your money in like just a straight up betting situation versus playing it in daily fantasy, like this is more interesting to me, straight up, because you get to get in the weeds on stats. So we're gonna do the MMA, we're gonna do the UFC this weekend, and we're gonna go Kayla Harrison. We're going less than 61.5 significant strikes. Because in my opinion, she is going to finish that in under 61.5 significant strikes. I'm going to go more on Joaquin Buckley because I think he's going to take Stephen Thompson down and he'll get a lot of strikes there on the ground. And I think I'm going to go less for Poatan. Actually, yeah. Yeah, that one's tough, dude. Anyway, that's the lineup that I'm doing. You submit your lineup, and then hopefully my lineup hits, in which case I will make I think let me see. So for 3, I think you make 3 or 4 times your buy-in. But anyway, the link is in the description. It is you'll be supporting my channel. You'll be supporting a very, very legit company, and you'll be having an incredible time playing Prize Picks. You'll love it, dude. Okay, so let's talk about the funniest story I've ever heard in my life when it comes to this is a person who would be the first man. You know what I mean? It's like, so we're going to have the very first female president if Kamala Harris wins, the very first one. It's like, so let's just think about the history of first ladies, first ladies. It's like, all right, so how do we gauge a first lady? Well, like in Jill Biden's case, it's like, can you basically serve as the president because your husband does not have a brain? She's like, yes, of course I can. And I could treat him like a 3-year-old in front of the whole world also because he does in fact have dementia. And I'm not making fun of him about that. Okay. I'm really not. I feel like I feel for people who have actual dementia, but in the case of the Biden presidency, the first lady needed to be able to potentially run the country since he can't, right? You go back, you're like Hillary Clinton. How'd she do with that, man? Right? She took first lady and spun it into so much, future power, and her own political career is very impressive. You got Michelle Obama, who for some reason or another is very influential and whatever. You got Trump and Melania. Melania kind of takes a backseat. Melania is for sure the hottest first lady ever, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You guys should definitely go look up old pictures of Melania when she was modeling. She is stunning, dude. Anyway, but I think that especially now, some of the statements she's putting out, she's whatever. So, but in the case of Kamala Harris, if she were to win, the first man, very first one, right? Very first one, what kind of person would that guy be? And it's like, well, what if I told you that he's the kind of guy that would beat the shit out of a girl that he's only been dating for 2 months because he thought she was flirting with a valet. Flirting with a valet. Yeah, flirting with a valet. Like a valet, the person that takes your car at the front of a hotel. Yeah, like that. Do you think that there is a person that could possibly be less likely that a person's date would be flirting with than the guy who goes and gets the car for them? No, it would seem basically impossible that she would be flirting with that guy. Mm-hmm. And he beat her up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, beat her up because she put her hand on his shoulder. This doesn't sound like a good person. Well, I mean, listen, man, there's basically two groups of people, right? Two groups of people. People who are men who will hit women, and there are men who will not hit women. You know what I mean? It's like, in my opinion, there's really nothing a girl can do where where if a dude instigates violence, where that is justified, like if the dude is the one who hauls off and throws at a woman when she has, like I've talked about this before, and I don't want to sound like I'm, simping for Dana, but like when Dana slapped his wife, Dana's wife rolled up and slapped him in the face hard. And he almost just like instinctually, like kind of, it wasn't like, Jesus, the guy, it was like a 6% slap. It's not, you shouldn't do it, but that's not the same as the guy instigates, walks up to the girl, hits her, right? But as soon as you see a guy hit the girl, you're like, why'd he do that? What? Why'd he do that? Oh, because she was flirting with the valet. Anyway, so we're going to look at that story, and it is absolutely glorious, dude. This is totally insane. The story is completely insane. So yeah, we're going to do that. It's going to be really fun. Oh, I want to show you guys this too. Look at this, dude. Should have had this pulled up. Thank you to Logan Yamagishi for sending this to me. Because guess what, dude? Watch this, you guys.
Peter Gowalk says, Tim, have you seen the bombs that Russia and Israel dropped? They're huge. There's a good video on Jesse on Fire. It's the World War III video. I've seen it. Dude, it's absolutely nuts.
Moving on up to the east side. Because Tim Cast watches Jesse on Fire. Thank you, Logan, for sending that. And thank you, Tim Cast. I am flattered, good sir. And for those of you who don't know, Tim Pool is much taller than you think. And Ian, his compadre, is really much taller than you think. I actually haven't seen Tim Pool, but he was doing Patrick Bet-David's show when I was in Miami, and I was at the Valuetainment studio. And Ian was out there hanging out. I was like, what the fuck? I don't know how you guys visualize Ian in terms of stature, but he's not a person I thought of as like 6'3", but he's fucking tall, dude. All right. So I know that's what I was just showing, dude. Okay. So, all right, we've been on. Let's do this, dude. All right. Let's get into this story. All right. I'll let those ads play out while we say Vice President Kamala Harris's husband is being accused of slapping his ex-girlfriend for flirting with a valet worker at a ritzy gala in 2012. A new report claims. Just wait until you hear the details of this, dude. Second gentleman. Here we go. Wait. Oh, never mind. Okay. Second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, 59, supposedly struck his then girlfriend, described as a successful New York attorney. She was an attorney too. So this girl was a successful New York attorney who's been dating this guy for like 2.5 months, I think. He slapped her in the face so hard that she spun around while in a valet line after an event at the Cannes Film Festival, May 2012. 3 unnamed friends of the woman reportedly told the Daily Mail. All 3 sources requested not to be named due to fear of retaliation from Emhoff, that's smart, who frequently positions himself as an ally for women. Hey, you know how we always talk about those male feminists and how you can always trust those guys, You can always trust a male feminist. Listen, I just want you to know that, like, I'm down with the plight of women. And if it wasn't for heroic, ceiling shattering, heroines. Think about where we'd be today. We'd probably be under the thumb of these disgusting white MAGA peoples. But you're white. Yeah, but I'm not that kind of white. I'm with you. I'm a male feminist. Okay, can we talk about something else? Sure. Let me get you another drink. Here. It's okay. I'm going to make my own drink. No. I made you this one. Drink it. Come on, drink it. We can talk about we can talk about feminism all night long. Unless you feel like you want to do something besides talk later, drink that drink. Drink that drink. Scum. Okay, so on Sunday, the second gentleman made headlines for his interview with Jen Psaki, who credited him with reshaping the perception of masculinity, dude. Oh my God, bro. Yeah. That's what being masculine is now, dude. Pretending to be a feminist when you slap women for talking to a valet. Psychopath. Josh Maddox, what's up, dude? And you, J Mutt, welcome to the membership. Like, there is literally not one thing in the history of the world less masculine than slapping a girl because you're jealous that she talked to another guy. Okay? Like, if you were going to basically itemize the most pussy ass things that a person can do, right? That's pretty high, dude. That's pretty high. You're so insecure about your position with the girl that when she talked to a valet, too, it's not like she's talking to Leonardo DiCaprio. You know what I mean? It's not like she put her hand on the shoulder of some like strapping gentleman who, or like some Navy sailor that's only in town for a week, like eyes wide shut. And she's like, oh God, I'm here with this dumpy old guy. But man, I wish I could take a ride on that pony. She's literally talking to a fucking valet. And you see that and you're all, I hate when she talks to other men. And you get yourself, I don't care if you're drunk or whatever. He gets himself to the point where he's seething to where he hits her. Okay. Now, people are in this article. They're like, oh, he was really drunk. So what? So what, dude? Okay, to me, it's the right thing to do, Emhoff said, as his role as a supporting spouse when he's not beating Kamala. Just kidding. That was a joke, okay? I have no evidence that he's beat Kamala up. That was a fucking joke. But the three friends who spoke to the Daily Mail provided photos of Emhoff posing with the woman he supposedly slapped in 2012, as well as other documents corroborating the trip they took to the south of France around the time of the alleged incident. The woman declined to comment on the story. The Harris campaign did not respond to a request for comment Wednesday. The alleged incident came just a year before Emhoff, a successful entertainment lawyer, and Harris met on a blind date. Yeah, hey, weird. Wait a minute. He was single? Wait. He was single after that? I can't believe it. Why? Like, why do you think he broke up? Why do you think they broke up, dude? You think it could be because he assaulted her in public in front of a shitload of witnesses? Like, that's a pretty tough one to come back from. You're like, hey, would you like to go to the Cannes Film Festival with me? I'm such a baller, dude. I got that ticket. Cannes Film Festival. You want to be my +1, girl? She's like, of course. Oh my God. It's such a glamorous life. Everything about hanging out with this guy is reflecting so well on me. I'm special. I'm right here. And then bam, you get assaulted in front of all of these bigwig people at Cannes Film Festival. He gets slapped for absolutely no reason, dude. The vice president, then California attorney general, started dating Emhoff in 2013 and then married him in August of 2014. After the alleged slap, the New York lawyer, who is not identified, called one of the friends, a male businessman, sobbing in her cab immediately after the incident, the outlet said. Well, yeah, generally speaking, when you strike a woman, I assume that they're going to cry. I wouldn't know. Now, he would know, right? Doug would know. We should ask him about it. I wouldn't know because I've never struck a woman. Okay? Just never really seemed like the right thing to do. I don't know. I mean, obviously, Gabrielle and I don't fight, but I fought a lot with my former girls, and it just never felt like the thing, it's like this girl screaming in my face. I am so mad that I can't even handle it. But I don't know. I just never thought like, oh, like I didn't realize this was okay. Right. And the girls that I dated in many cases were skanks, so we're like, they might have actually been flirting with someone. And I was like, I didn't realize you could just roll up and slap them in the face, man. Like I had no idea that was a thing you can do. It was very clear what she was telling me, the source told the Daily Mail. She said she was with a guy, her date. She went to the Cannes Film Festival and he hit her. She was in the car with the guy at the time. The woman allegedly told him, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I didn't know whether to call the French police. I couldn't get a hold of, he's saying he didn't know what to call the French police. He couldn't get a hold of her after calling back. Friend claimed that he got more details about what happened later on. It was something like 3 a.m. They were trying to get out of there and they'd both been drinking. There was a gigantic line for taxis. She went up to one of the valet guys, offered him 100 euros or whatever to get ahead of the line. She told me she put her hand on his shoulder. Doug apparently thought she was flirting and came over and slapped her in the face. Because that makes perfect sense, dude. Like there's a huge line. Everyone's trying to get their cars. And he looks over. He's like, I know exactly what she just said right there. She said, I'm going to give you this $100 and you're going to let me blow you. Like that's what's going down. He's all, that's the only thing that makes sense right now is she was offering to pay him so she could perform a sexual act on him. So I need to slap her in public in front of an entire line of people because that's what a really masculine man does. Oh my God, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. She slapped Emhoff back, the businessman said. Good for her. My impression is that he had a lot to drink. She wasn't she wasn't slurring her words, he said of the woman's conversation. She told me that she broke up with him that night. Oh, I would hope so. Successful New York attorney gets slapped in the face in front of a bunch of people. Like, why would you stay with him? And the pair had only been dating for 3 months. That's the part, like every single part of this story is absolute gold, dude. They'd only been dating for 3 months. 3 months. That's not even enough time to feel possessive about anything. You know what I mean? Like 3 months. Like, obviously slapping someone's never okay, but like 3 months, like you shouldn't even be capable of getting that jealous with a girl you've been dating for 3 months. You know what I mean? Like 3 months, you should still feel like you have to continue to lock her in. That's a very new relationship. You spaz, spaz. Like, how do you think he even how could you possibly explain that behavior? Why did you do that? He's like, well, because I could tell that you wanted to sleep with the valet. Like, it would just be, you just in your mind be like, oh, this dude's a complete psychopath. This is a psycho. The woman called her businessman friend because she wanted Doug to see her on the phone telling somebody, her friends told the outlet. She felt that would afford her some protection in case he was going to kill her. Smart. A second friend, another New York-based, Jesus, that is exactly what she's saying right there, by the way. I want you guys to read that line yourselves. Okay. Read that. The woman called her businessman friend because she wanted Doug to see her on the phone telling somebody, her friends told the outlet. She felt that would afford her some protection. Okay, first of all, that's a smart girl, dude. That's a street smart girl. Straight up. And we're going to take a moment to give her the credit that she deserves right there, because I think most girls who got hit by a dude and then were in the cab with the same dude would freeze. Like they'd freeze, right? She recognizes, oh, I have no idea who this guy is. We've only been together for 3 months. He just struck me in front of an entire group of people. We're in a fucking foreign country. I tried to get into a cab. He forced his way into a cab. He's already been violent with me tonight. I need to take away his ability to murder me. Doesn't mean he was going to. But as soon as she said, yeah, this guy struck me, now she's safe. That's a really strong street smart move. What strong street smart move? Jesus, you know what I'm saying, dude. Oh, by the way, just as a side note, you see this article right here on the right. Millie Bobby Brown and Jake Bongiovi share photos from their lavish Italian wedding. You know whose tiny heart broke into 1,000 pieces when he saw that? Drake. Drake's like, dude, I've been grooming that girl for 10 years. She just hauls off and gets married? Jesus. Thanks a lot, Kendrick. I would have smashed that for sure if you wouldn't have exposed me. And now I'll always have to think about what it would have been like. A second friend, another New York-based female attorney, said the woman also told her about the incident. They had dinner. She said Doug was very charming and it was lovely. Then I believe it was 2 or 3 a.m. It was still raging, but she was wearing 4-inch heels and a floor-length gown, so it was time to depart, whatever that means. She said there'd been no fight before he hit her. You would have thought this was a fairy tale trip. She was completely caught off guard by Emhoff's sudden attack, the woman alleged, which again just means this dude is an insecure, unhinged psycho. He hauled up and slapped her so hard she spun around. She said she was in utter shock. She was so furious she slapped him on one side and then on the other cheek with the other hand. All 3 friends said the woman tried to leave following the assault, but that Emhoff forced his way into the cab with her. She said she wanted to go back to the hotel without him, but while she was shutting the door, he forced himself into the car, which she did not want. That's, again, why that was super smart, to call someone so he sees her. Yes, this guy struck me. He forced his way into the cab. Well, now you can't murder her, dude, because you gonna get got. Now, obviously, he hit her in front of about 1,000 people, so, you know, obviously, she comes up missing. He's like, I don't know what happened, man. I have absolutely no idea. They're like, well, so all these witnesses saw you hit her in the face for absolutely no reason. And then when she was trying to get in the cab to get away from you, you forced your way into the cab. And now no one's ever seen her again. He's all, no body, no crime. No body, no crime. It's like, maybe, you know, maybe. I think she asked him what the fuck was that all about in the car. And the only thing she could really get out of him was that he thought she was hitting on the valet. Okay. Hey guys, let me just break this down really quick. Okay. This is in 2012. This guy is like, you know, this is him now, right? This is him now. So 12 years ago, he is a grown-up, right? He's a grown-up. Spoiler, okay? If you've been dating a girl for 3 months and she starts hitting on a valet for real, you know what you do? You break up with her. You know, if you really believe there's a chance that she was hitting on the valet, your successful New York-based attorney who is trying to get to the front of the valet line, you fucking like psycho. But if you believe that, you just break up with her. You know, a person who would lose control like that is, I mean, it's just unbelievable, man. One source said she couldn't believe he is the person that he is and that it turned into this trailer trash moment. She realized he was bad news. This is the first time she saw his ugly side. Well, yeah, they'd only been dating for 3 months, dude. They'd only been dating for 3 months. Third friend described the female as described as a female executive at a top company, said the woman told her about what happened in 2018 when the then Senator Harris was in the news for grilling Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh over sexual assault allegations. Yeah, she's like, oh, wow. She's like, why don't you grill your husband about when he assaulted me? She is a gorgeous, strong woman, and you would never expect somebody to hit her. Emhoff was allegedly unapologetic. When he hit her, she hit him back like, don't ever do that again, she said. I asked her if he apologized. She said no, but he commented about the hit she gave him. It was a tennis metaphor, no apology at all. All he said to her was, don't worry about it. You got me one across the court down the line. What? Dude, she You struck her. She hit you back. Emhoff allegedly ended the trip early, I would imagine so, to return to Los Angeles for his daughter Ella's 13th birthday, and he and the woman never saw each other again. Oh, yeah. He's like, oh, my God, I just remembered. It's my daughter's birthday, so I'm going to have to fly out now. You're all, oh, yeah? Oh, it's your daughter's birthday. You just remembered? Are you sure it doesn't have something to do with you psychotically hauling off and hitting me in the face in front of an entire, valet line of people at the Cannes Film Festival? Like, that's the other thing. You know who goes to fucking Cannes? The Cannes Film Festival? You think those are like some jokers in go to I don't know, pick one of these other film festivals for jokers where it's a bunch of hippies and hipsters, and they're like, I'm eating my avocado toast and I'm going to go see that artsy movie about an LGBTQ trans boy who does a somersault in front of his old school, and it represents his metamorphosis into the new version of him. It's supposed to be amazing. Okay. Cannes is where ballers go, dude. Okay. That's Ballerville. So he hit her in front of a bunch of rich people, which matters to other rich people. Other rich people are like, you hit me in front of like people who actually matter, because they're elitist fuckheads, but still. A return flight. Okay, so apparently her and Emhoff's relationship started after they connected on Match.com. It got serious in just 3 months, and the woman had already met Emhoff's kids and parents. I mean, that seems like it should be a prerequisite. Like, if you're going to hit a girl, you should at least introduce her to your kids and, your parents first, so that, it's like, look, Mom, this is Jennifer. She's the new girl that I'm going to be abusing if she ever looks at another man. What'd you say? What? Oh, nothing. I meant, she's wonderful. She's a lawyer in New York. We're really excited about our future together. And, hopefully she never touches the shoulder of a peasant who is working for tips, because if she does, I will slap her in front of the entire world. Like, did you just call him a peasant? He's like, yeah, he's a valet. He's a peasant. No, he's just a dude working a job. I mean, sure, but I'm there for Cannes Film Festival. He's picking up cars in front of a hotel. I'm a human. He's a peasant. Come on. By the way, that's really how these people think. I mean, I don't like generalizations, but a lot of them really do look at people like that. Okay. She went to a hotel bar to meet Doug after work. It was a typical Match.com date where you only commit to a drink. They were there an hour, and he told her his son was in the city walking around. I think he just started college. Cole later met the pair on the woman's porch and smoked cigarettes with his dad on the father. Ew. He smokes cigarettes? Man, this guy is a real winner. They're like, so tell me about yourself. He's all, I'm an attorney. Also, I hit women and smoke cigarettes. It's like, ugh. The shocking allegation came just 2 months after Emhoff admitted to cheating on his first wife following a bombshell report that alleged he once got their nanny pregnant. What? Bombshell report that he allegedly got their nanny pregnant. This guy is scum, dude. I mean, he doesn't even have the decency to pull out on his side piece. I mean, for God's sake, like, don't cheat, but at the very least, if you're going to cheat with someone, don't do someone who like lives in your home with you, right? And if you are going to do that, at least pull out, dude. I mean, this guy just doesn't give a fuck about nothing. He's probably beat up the wife and the nanny. During my first marriage, Kirsten, by the way, I'm joking about all that, you guys. It's just pure scum. The pull-out thing's a fucking joke. During my first marriage, Kirsten and I went through some tough times on account of my actions. Oh yeah, you guys went through some tough times on account of your actions? He's like, we did hit a little bit of a rough patch when my wife found out that I got the nanny pregnant. The nanny who takes care of our children for us, So she does a lot of the work. Like my wife feels a little bit guilty offloading a lot of the motherhood to her. So it's already kind of like a little bit of a weird dynamic. So when she found out that I got the nanny pregnant, that actually ended up being a pretty challenging time for us. You're all, oh yeah, was that challenging? It's like someone being like, yeah, after I got in a car accident, it ended up being paralyzed from the neck down. That was kind of hard to deal with. You're like, I would imagine so, dude. The affair was disclosed to President Biden's vetting committee 4 years ago before he chose Harris as a running mate for the 2020 ticket. A source familiar with the situation told the outlet. Dude, I'm surprised that wasn't like a prerequisite. They're like, yeah, so anything in your background? He's like, well, I did get the nanny pregnant. And they're like, good. I mean, this is the DNC. That's a bonus. It just means you're one of us. You're one of us, man. Right? Getting nannies pregnant is what we do. Emhoff was accused of betraying his wife over 15 years ago with Najine Naylor, a nanny who worked at the private school their 2 children attended. Let's see if we can find a picture of this hot nanny, this seductress. Oh, I found her. Oh my God. No way. Look at this, you guys. All right. So there's the happy family, right? This is his wife. Beautiful. Looks very nice. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So this is the nanny at the time that he smashed. And this apparently is her now. So, but it's important to look at what she looked like when he betrayed his wife right under her nose. And this is a little bit more understandable. I can't see her eyes, but judging by her face, she does seem like the kind of girl that would be like, just finish inside me. I just want to feel you. I just want to feel you. I just want to be what your wife is. I don't want to be your side piece. I want to trap you. I want to trap you with my vagina. Anywho, going back to the original, Naylor supposedly, I feel like this is a really fun stream. Is this just in my head? Like, I'm having a really good time right now. I'm having a really good time right now, dude. Dude, hold up. Bingo. What an amazing feminist who's redefining masculinity. I mean, Naylor supposedly became pregnant as a result of the relationship, but did not keep the baby. A close friend with knowledge of the predicament told Daily Mail. It was not clear exactly what the friend meant. While Emhoff never named Naylor in his statement, he allegedly told his girlfriend in 2012 about the relationship and pregnancy. The 3 friends told Daily Mail. Oh yeah, I forgot. We're actually talking about when he beat up a girl. We got sidetracked with when he betrayed his wife right under her nose with the nanny and plugged a nut in her gut and got her pregnant. Okay. While Emhoff never named Naylor in the scene. Oh, wait. Sorry. He came clean about the situation when she questioned him about his divorce from his first wife, which was still ongoing when they were dating. Wow, that was honest of him. She felt for some reason his wife had the upper hand and she couldn't understand why that was. He told her that he had gotten a kid's teacher pregnant and that had been the cause for the divorce. I mean, honestly, I do respect him just coming out with that, I mean, you know what I mean? It's better than would I clap those? Who? Which one, dude? Don't spam Caesar Molina. I don't know who we're talking about though. You can put one chat who you're talking about and I will answer. Bro, you bet your sweet ass I would. I would take that rainbow hair little man and I would be like, pow, 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 pow. Just kidding. What? Oh, the nanny. Oh, bro. Look at, wait a minute. Oh, this is the nanny. I mean, would I clap those? Here's how I answer that question. Okay. Am I single? Am I single? What's my situation? Am I very, very drunk? Is this like, if I was single, is this a person I would pursue sober? Fuck no. No. But if I was blacked out, she threw it at me, I'm single, I'd probably smash, But is there, I'm not doing any kind of stepping out on Gabrielle. I'm not that fucking crazy, dude. Risk mitigation is a good place to be. There is not a piece of ass on fucking earth that is worth risking that girl. Impossible to upgrade and a certainty anyway. But this girl is definitely not even in the conversation. Emhoff was accused of betraying. Okay. According to Emhoff, Naylor had a miscarriage, which she blamed him for. What? What the hell does that mean? Naylor had a miscarriage, which she blamed him for. Los Angeles Police Department records obtained by Daily showed the police were called to a house where Naylor lived around the same time she was pregnant, on the night of June 28, 2009. What? The call out was given priority 3, which is life-threatening emergency lights and sirens on. Emhoff denied that he caused Naylor to lose a pregnancy, but told the girlfriend that he paid her around $80,000 and had her sign a non-disclosure agreement. He did it rather matter-of-factly, not apologizing or saying he screwed up, but just like it was any other conversation. Yeah, that should have been a red flag that he's probably going to slap you at some point, The confession was a serious red flag, but the couple flew to Cannes later in the spring anyway, the friends noted to the publication. After the relationship imploded, the now second gentleman quickly moved on with Harris, whom he started seeing in 2013. Okay. Now, given the fact that, do I want Kamala Harris to win this election? Fuck no. Absolutely not. Okay? Not at all. But the way I look at her is she's like, like all the stuff, all the things that I support the big guy in response to, she's like this little stick figure that gets paraded out in front of the thing that I believe we're all fighting against. Like I just don't buy into like, oh my God, Kamala is going to do blah, blah, blah. She has no power. Okay. She is literally a mouthpiece. She's just a face and a mouthpiece. She's not making any decisions. So I don't have any like ill will towards her other than just to be like, I just don't care. Like I'm indifferent to her. I love the big guy. And as far as she's concerned, I'm indifferent. But she is the vice president of the United States. And I respect the office enough to not want to say what I'm about to say, but I can't help it in the context of this conversation. So I'm apologizing in advance because this feels disrespectful given that she's the vice president of the United States. But I'm going to say it anyway. Okay. And that is, he started seeing Harris in 2013. Okay. So in 2009, he knocks up the nanny. Something happens where the police get called. She has a miscarriage. He has her sign a non-disclosure agreement. The first time he starts hanging out with this other girl, he just tells her about it like it's normal. And then 2 months later, he slaps her in the face in front of a bunch of rich people at the Cannes Film Festival. Okay. This is a dude that is unstable and dangerous around girls. At the very least, he's scum. What are the odds that he just went straight into the Kamala Harris relationship and he's like, I'm a changed man. I've never done any psychotic shit with her. Seems like very low probability that she has not dealt with something very similar with this guy, because it's not like he was 22 years old when all this is happening. He's a grown-up, dude. Like what a person does when they're 48 is what they're going to do when they're 58. You know what I mean? In her 2019 book, The Truths We Hold, Harris described meeting Emhoff's children just 2 months into the romance. That sounds like that's his move. Also, Kamala did not write this book. She got interviewed and then someone else wrote the book. I guarantee that. Couple married in August 2014. The woman never thought about sharing her story until she witnessed Harris's rise to power with Emhoff at her elbow. He's holding himself out to be something he is absolutely not. And that's bullshit, said the executive of Emhoff, who frequently positions himself as an outspoken ally of women. I feel like people should know who their leaders really are. Exactly. Yeah, this guy's he's a gem, dude. He's a gem. I am an advocate for women and women's rights. You're all, what about a woman's right to not have her husband impregnate the nanny right under her nose? He's like, well, that's different. Oh, really? Is it? He's like, that's my wife. Okay, that's my wife. You're all. So who are we talking about when you say the women's rights thing? He's like, well, women I don't interact with. I'm talking like women, like women. You're like, yeah, well, you interact with women every day. How does that go? He's like, well, the nanny, I basically tricked her into letting me use her as a jizz rag. And instead of actually needing a jizz rag, I just started plugging myself in her gut. I didn't give a fuck. She gets pregnant. It's like, yeah, I did that shit. But don't worry, you're going to have a miscarriage. How do you know I'm going to have a miscarriage? You. And the wife, it's like, yeah, I did that shit. Yep. Yeah, she did have an upper hand because, I did basically just stone betrayal. And again, I don't understand how these people and again, I'm not trying to minimize it. Cheating on your wife is bad, dude. Cheating on your wife is bad. But I don't understand, if you're cheating on your wife, how do these guys get their side pieces pregnant, dude? I've never understood that. My best friend and roommate, when we lived together, but before this is kind of the period right before I met Gabrielle and started dating her. We had these two girls come into town. He bangs one of them, I bang the other one. And I remember he told me that he just finishes inside of her. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, dude, I always do. And I'm like, is she on the pill? He's like, I'm sure. I'm like, you didn't ask her? He's like, no, dude, of course she is. I'm like, this is not a girl he's even he's not dating her, nothing. She is there to just bang for the weekend. And I never did that shit. I never did that shit with my girlfriends most of the time because I'm like, I am not. Well, first of all, I also want to admire my, let's check the volume and distance. Let's see how I did. But also, I was super spooked. I don't want to jizz in a girl and then she's like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. So with a side piece, a girl on the side that you cannot take, if you get her pregnant, it's a complete and total catastrophe. Why would they finish this? It doesn't make any sense, dude. Okay, so what else do you guys want to talk about? We've been talking about this creepo for 45 minutes. Now we can talk about whatever, dude. Whatever you guys want. I do want to go back to this, though, real quick. Because this was a moving moment for me.
Peter Gowalk says, Tim, have you seen the bombs that Russia and Israel dropped? They are huge. There's a good video on Jesse on Fire. It's the World War III video. I've seen it. Dude, it's absolutely nuts.
Woo! See, if anybody ever takes a clip of me saying their name, saying their name, and they're all, look at Jesse said something about me, that's when you know you made it, dude. If Tim made it, obviously, because I'm like, oh my God, like a little fucking groupie. I'm like, hey, Tim, you can finish inside me. You can finish inside me, Tim. Fucking groupie ass Jesse on Fire. Oh man, dude. I know. I haven't talked about the Candace Owens if they're really black thing, because I can't like follow it really. I'm watching it. I'm like, honestly, what it is, I can't verify, what they're saying. I assume it's real because Candace is not stupid. She's not going to go public with a thing like this if she's not on solid ground. But candidly, I'm just not surprised, like I'm legit not surprised. It's like, oh, you realize that Kamala's actually like Indian and whatever, and she's actually not black, and they're taking pictures of her, like her indentured servant, and pretending like it's her grandma. I'm like, yeah, that's not surprising to me, like at all. Like surprises me zero. I mean, we're talking about the same person who is like, hello, thank you everyone for coming out, and I appreciate everyone's support. We're going to go get them in 2024, and it's going to be great. And then 5 minutes later in a black church, she's all, we're going to get it in 2024. Just shameless. You're like, that is weird, dude. That is weird. You want to know what that black church would respond better to? Is you going in there and just being your 100% authentic self. Assuming that you actually care about them, like you really do care about the issues that are important to them, because people can tell. People can tell. I'm not built for politics. They'll go digging into my backdrop, and they're all, I thought you said that you never got a nanny pregnant. I'm like, I didn't. They're all, you didn't? I'm like, I don't think I did. Yeah, you did. I'm just kidding. But like, I'm not for politics, but I can tell you for sure, if I go into that church and I'm listening to what they're talking about, I'm not going to go, I'm going to get them in 2024. I'm just going to be like, okay, let me actually really think about how to solve these problems, and I'll mean it. Like, all you have to do is just mean it. Mean what you say. You don't have to pretend to talk like something that you're not, right? Just be authentic. Actually want to help people. But that's hard for them. It's much easier to, pretend to be black or whatever. To be fair, I do this. No, you don't, dude. No, you don't. That's, I mean, I know people used to do that when I don't know how old you are. When I was much younger, I used to see people do that all the time. I never did it. I might make fun of my ghetto black friends, like, and I would talk Ebonics, like, because they're like my really good buddy, and I would just be joking around with them. But I wouldn't be like seriously trying to pass off my own talk as that. You know what I mean? Do I think J-Lo is in a Diddy freak off tape? So I will literally guarantee you without any shred of doubt, zero shred of doubt, Diddy's got a video of J-Lo. It's the question is just like, is it just Diddy banging her, or is there other people? You know what I mean? I guarantee he's got a video of every single girl that he's ever, like a girl that he was like actually together with. He's filmed all of them for sure. Max Powers. She's married. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me see what that was. I would marry Candace Owens if only I could. Yeah, she is married, dude. Do you want to know, like, so I have a not even moderately secret crush on Candace. Gabrielle knows, dude. And you want to see, I'll show you the interview of hers, or the debate of hers where I'm like, where I realized, I was like, oh, dude, she is an absolute dime. And it's this one. It's this one, dude.
Be fine. I'm not.
Violence. We can talk about the protests of that. Let me finish.
This one is so great. Her and Mark Lamont Hill, it's like such a great conversation. And the other thing too, the reason why she's so hot in this one is because she actually wants to bang Mark Lamont, and she gives it away a couple different times. Like, so she's arguing with him and she's punking him, and she for sure wants to jump on that. And it's very obvious. I think she actually even Freudian slips it a couple times. But yeah, I think she wanted to win the debate and then show him what a bad boy he's been with all these stupid ideas that she just had to punk him on, Now we got to knock it out. knock it out. Let's watch a little bit of it.
The Black community his entire life. I'm not comfortable with it. Now, if he had done a 180 at the end of his life, I believe in forgiveness. You know, I'm not above, you know, believing that people make mistakes, but this was not the story of George Floyd. And that is proven by the fact that he was on the most addictive drug that is in America today, which is fentanyl. Fentanyl is 100 times stronger than more. How does it make him a bad person? I'm saying the idea, I'm attacking the narrative that, but then after his 9th stint in prison, which is, by the way, if you want to talk about a record, going to prison 9 times is very difficult to do, you know, before you.
See, that's a straw man what he did, dude. You know, that's a straw man. Now, I generally don't like slam people for straw men because I think most of the time they're doing it strategically and it's kind of smart, you know. But like, I feel like all these conversations get framed that way. If you're talking to a person who has like a rational, like logical way of looking at things, because it's very easy to take something someone says in current times and then straw man it to make it sound like you're saying something much more extreme. You have to be like really on top of it. But like, you know, he's also, so how does that make him a bad person? It's like, what? I mean, there's a big difference between we're literally anointing this person a saint. We are definitely 100% assuming that he was murdered, which is ludicrous because the guy's a fentanyl addict who's been to jail 9 times. Like, you know, oh, well, how's he a bad person? I mean, no one's saying he's a bad person necessarily, although if you put a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach, okay, all the shit I just talked about, you know, Emhoff, he never put a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach, at least not as far as we know. Maybe that's why they called the police. You know, he pulled the old GF. Like, he's like, you know, he calls his boys after. They're all, damn, dude, you got the cops called on you? What happened? He's all, pulled that GF, son. Pulled that GF. They're all, damn, how'd it go? He's all like clockwork. His buddy's like, what's a GF? He's all, it's a George Floyd, man. He put a gun straight to that chick's stomach. Scares the shit out of him every time. Sometimes they'll just straight up they'll just have a fucking miscarriage on the spot. Dude, you put that gun on him, bang, miscarriage, dude. It's almost as efficient as an abortion. Oh, man. You give me a good story about a man victimizing a girl, and I will be just in heaven, you know? I absolutely love it. Let's see how this stream is doing, though. 6,000 views so far. Woo! You guys, thank you. They are saying Oprah is Diddy's higher profile. It's not. It's Leonardo DiCaprio. It's Leonardo DiCaprio. So what's funny is, okay, so I did a video. If you guys don't follow Play with Matches with like this, me and Gabrielle's channel, which is this one. So it's like literally, it's our breakout moment right now. So having done this before, having built a channel before, like I kind of know how this happens, you know, like the amount of time you got to post, whatever. And then you'll have like a breakout topic. So that is happening to us right now. Like we got our last 2 videos
was taken to an.
I mean, we've only been doing this for like 6 months. And, you know, we have 14,500 subscribers. And look at our last 2 videos. Bam, 30K, 53K. Breakout, son. But anyway, we talked about the Leonardo DiCaprio one in our last one because so I did the video about the person higher profile than Diddy, and then my buddy sent me a bunch of stuff like that. He's like, look, it's Leo, and I watched it, and I'm like, damn, it is Leo, dude. It's I mean I would feel this. There you go, dude. This is exactly who sent it to me. Daniel Tobia. Thank you, sir. Yeah. So like I realized in that video that Gabrielle and I did, I didn't actually show all the clips because that show is more like me and Gabrielle just making fun of shit. But I'm telling you, like I would feel very comfortable betting on it being Leo. Now it could be anyone, but I would feel, you know, like if someone's like, I'll give you, 6-1 that it's Leo. I'd be like, I'll take that bet. Where's Gianna? Oh, there we go. What's up, Gianna? How are you? It's all good, dude. You should definitely listen. I don't normally say this, but you should 100% watch this entire stream back because it's gold. It's one of those ones where, like, the whole time in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is going to be so fun to watch afterwards because the topic, like, you would have to actively try to fuck this up if your goal is to be funny talking about this story because it's so ludicrous and hilarious. And it's a person I like making fun of. So it's just absolute gold. Thank you, Max Powers. Oh, you're good, dude. You don't need it. I appreciate you, girl. Thank you. When Gianna first reached out to me, I'm like, there is a 0% chance that this is actually her. And it is, you guys. It's like, there's nobody that pretty that listens to my stupid face, except for Gabrielle. Thank you very much, Gianna. So, hold on. I'll show you guys, like, oh my, we're gonna fight to the death. I'm going to show you guys a really good clip, dude. So this is the one that we did about Diddy the other day. It's like,
we can never turn on each other
exactly
because we're in this.
Oh,
You think that they can't take everything from you?
now hey, I'm talking about Andrew Soros and Yuba and what's her name? Yuma Aberdeen, how they're getting married.
Yeah.
And then Andrew Soros went home to George, and George is all, I might not be able to still speak very well, but
we're gonna take Diddy
I
down.
will take everything that he has and I will break him. His life is over now. They're all, why? He's all, because he was mean to my son.
Mean to my boy.
Mean to my boy who's marrying Hillary Clinton's right-hand lady.
Really?
Of course.
Weird.
Yeah, it's almost like
An arranged marriage, melding of the families.
I wonder if the way they consummate the marriage in those types of situations is they sacrifice a baby. You know?
Not say that.
No, not really. But like, I mean, not like actually, but like
Just like
metaphorically. Sacrifice a baby. That way, like, listen, in that world, the way that you make a lifelong commitment is not the same as in the regular world. Like the regular world, it's like, we'll sign this piece of paper, we'll love each other forever in front of God. For them, they're like, we're going to do something so dastardly and so incriminating that we can never turn on each other because we're in this together.
I go down, you're going down with me.
We sacrificed a
Shut up.
Anyway, but again, I just want to reiterate that Diddy literally said he's using his case to inspire others who believe they're facing government persecution, wanting to inspire them to fight back when the feds bring the hammer down. That is unbelievable.
It is.
I've watched. Oops.
That's like the honest.
I've watched this episode of ours literally like 3 or 4 times because this one is for sure the funniest one we've ever done, without a doubt.
See, I really dislike Diddy.
Wait,
but that
he says he's being persecuted by the feds because he's a successful black man.
No, he did not.
Right there.
As we told you, Diddy's being
play with matches. Ben Askren's friend. Play with matches. Here, it looks like this. See the play with matches with Gabby and Jesse.
Prosecuted by the feds because he's a successful black man.
That's why.
This is the most shameless. This is amazing, dude. This is amazing.
Shameless. It's exactly.
Anyway, you guys get the point. You should definitely go watch that, dude. It's super funny. Love the channel. Go keep rocking out. Good luck to you. Thank you very much, good sir. Appreciate you, dude. No. Oh, Gianna, I actually never asked you that. So you're the Gambino. That's how I knew that you were real. when we started talking about that world. People who don't know anything, they think that it's a flex. Like they think it's like a flex versus how anybody who actually knows anything would talk about it. Love the channel. We'll keep rocking out. Thank you very much, dude. Hillary warns of October surprise to distort and pervert Kamala Harris. Diddy tapes? No, dude. You know what I was thinking about though? Is what are the odds that the DNC would make a flawless deep fake of the big guy in a Diddy tape? I mean, like that would be the greatest like October surprise ever, because they're absolutely shameless. They have no scruples and no, they have no ethics. So they're like, yeah, let's just pretend, and we'll have him with like a little, let's just have Trump have sex with Bieber. We'll have Trump and Bieber in a deep fake. Do I know any Sambo gyms near Yuba City or Sacramento? Bro, if you're in Sacramento, go to Team Alpha Male. It's not Sambo, but like that's a no-brainer right there. Have you seen the videos of him doing ritual dances with a witch? Did he? No, but you know what? Someone sent me something about the tattoo on his back. It's like some Haitian witchcraft shit. Is that what you're talking about? Apple Pits, thank you very much. They want to suspend the election with World War III. Yeah. Listen, I literally would not put anything past them, dude. Liberty and trust. What's up, dude? Welcome to the show. I'm flattered. Listen, if you watched my video yesterday, the World War III one, I would assume anyone is smart enough to know that like World War III negates the impact of the outcome of any election. Like it's like, oh, you won. They're like, show them what they've won. They're like, well, you get to say that you would have been the president over the former country, which is now a radioactive dust wasteland where people are running around hunting each other so that they can kill their children and eat them. Damn. Well, make sure to put that on your resume. I think that's going to matter, in the future for you. It's really going to matter that you won. The video yesterday, it should. Listen, do I think that there's a high probability that there's going to be a full-scale thermonuclear exchange? No. But if people can actually wrap their brain around what that looks like and the fact that that is an actual thing that could happen, then we should be acting accordingly. It's like if you found out that Bluetooth headphones increased your children, your daughter's likelihood of getting brain cancer by 5. They're, it's a really minuscule, likelihood. And this 5X's it. Are you going to let them fucking use Bluetooth headphones if you knew that was for sure? Hell no. Take those fucking things off their head. It's like, that's the only thing I could, like your baby getting brain cancer is the only thing that I could think of on a smaller scale that, would equate to Armageddon, politically. What's crazy for me? So making a huge mess for Trump to deal with. Yeah. And listen, dude, I really believe that if he gets elected, like he will clean it up. You know what I mean? Like, I really believe that. And not because he's like some genius. He just understands people and he knows how to negotiate. Like, that's what he does, right? That's what he's always done. And the way that you become good at negotiating is you understand the person's motivations on the other side. Okay. Like in any sales role, like I'm going to actually just shift gears and get serious after an hour of making fun of fucking Kamala's wife beating husband. Okay. Like if you go into any high level sales training, okay, we're not talking about selling cell phones. We're talking about people who are selling enterprise $1 million plus deals in an environment where you're interacting with executives or people that have large budgets that they're responsible. Hey, Genevieve, Georgia. Okay, stop doing that. Take it somewhere else. Before I beat your ass in front of the Cannes Film Festival people. You keep playing like that, I'll slap you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, so like, but yeah, okay, so any big, real enterprise, multi-million-dollar sales training, the first thing they're going to explain to you is like how to approach the interaction. And you always start with high-level questions, then you refine your questions, and it's like, it's all questions. Like if you're interviewing someone for a job like that, and you give them like a PowerPoint, you're like, I want you to come in and do a mock presentation for us, sell us, sell us our own product. Okay. People hear that and they're like, it's crazy. Cause like I went in there and I don't know enough about this product to sell it to them. Like they know everything about the product. Boom, fail, wrong. Okay. They're not testing your ability to sell them the thing, because you don't need to know anything about the thing to demonstrate that you know how to sell at an enterprise level. You are going to go in there and you're going to ask them a million questions. That's how you pass that test. Okay. It's a test. That's how you pass the test. You just learn just barely enough to support a question asking exercise. So it's all about understanding the person that you're interacting with. And so on negotiations, that's what Trump is exceptional at, is he understands what the motivations are of the people who are on the other side. And make no mistake about it, negotiating with other countries is just a bunch of people, right? You just are negotiating with the people who hold the levers of power in that country. So, do you really think that, like, you can look at Trump's record with military and he's demonstrated he is very, very sparing with how he exercises military strikes, right? He wants to pull us out of foreign wars. He doesn't take the bait when they do this, that, or the other, right? Like, but at the same time, to the rest of the world, they think he might be crazy. Like, he intentionally presents himself as an unpredictable, potentially violent, leader. He's not doing that because he's actually an unpredictable. He needs them to think that he is, because he uses the threat of violence as leverage in a negotiation, which is exactly what everyone does on a global scale. Okay. So like, all of these things that are happening, the United States has the military force to force basically anyone to stop doing anything if they really believe that we'll bring the weight of the military down on them, for the most part. There's a lot more complexity than that. Of course, China basically could just pull the fucking plug on, like, we manufacture all of our pharmaceuticals in China. How do you think that's going to go? They're all, we're not going to do your pharmaceuticals anymore. And then fill in the blank, all of the other industries that we completely rely on China for. Like, the war with China is economic, and they've already won, like in terms of like, at least in the current state, we would have to reshape things in order to not be, sucking their little, anyway. But Trump understands all of that stuff. And so he's going to go into these conversations and he's going to negotiate. Dude, you know what I learned? Patrick Bet-David had on his show, that, there's an import cost on those crates, that come over on those huge ships, and they've got these massive crates that are on those boats. There's a cost per crate to import, or that we pay per import or whatever. And under Trump, he got it all the way down to like $2,500 per crate. You want to know what it is now? 40,000. 40,000. And you want to know why? is because you have a fucking brain dead donkey with dementia who's in that seat right now. And honestly, whoever is agreeing to those terms, I mean, I don't know this, but like maybe there's a financial incentive in it for, but bottom line, Trump has demonstrated that he really will negotiate in the best interest of the United States, not in the best interest of the military contractors so they can extract as much money as possible out of these things. He's like the one leader that has demonstrated that he really will negotiate in the best interest of America, American companies, American people. Okay. Like, and the fact that, he's vile. He's just vile on X. Okay. I'm not defending everything he's ever said on X. I'm saying the job is to be the president of the United States. Like the job is to do this. He has, in my opinion, probably the best track record of any president since like Reagan on actually executing on things which are just black and white. Clearly his incentive that he is following is to help American workers and American as a country and the corporations without, because like current administration or other, ones from the other side, they're helping American corporations, but they're doing it at the expense of the American people. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. Come get the shot. It's free. The shot's free. Is it though? It's free. Yeah. So you should definitely get 7 boosters, but is it free? Yes. No. You made a deal with Pfizer to buy 1 billion shots of the shot. Taxpayer dollars. So yeah, you're helping American, corporations, but you're doing it by extracting tax dollars out of our tax base that we all pay into for a thing that, you know what I mean? It's like, this is the same game. The military industrial complex, same exact thing. Okay. Oh, we're passing a $100 billion spending deal to go to Ukraine. Okay. Well, where's that money actually going? Oh, it's going to go to Lockheed, Raytheon, whatever. And then they're going to ship our old weapons over there. We get new weapons. Okay. So like, yeah, we get an upgraded military and whatever. It's a way to kind of like play a shell game where we're spending more money on, the defense, like the defense budget than we were before, because we're actually getting rid of the old stuff and we're getting new stuff. Sure. But that is just another way of extracting tax dollars out of our tax base. That's how you're helping these American corporations versus negotiating so that every American company that's importing goods from overseas is paying $2,000 per crate instead of 40. Or Trump is going to put tariffs on this country so that if people want to move manufacturing jobs to that country, it becomes more expensive to manufacture outside the country than it would be inside the country. So he's saving American jobs and he's saving the manufacturing industry in the United States. Like, it's not rocket science. That's what he's doing. What other possible incentive would he have? Like, what do people think he's doing? You know what I mean? Like when he explains to you, like when he explains to you that this is why he's going to put tariffs on Mexico. Right? He says, I'm going to put tariffs on Mexico. I'm going to do it so that car imports will be more expensive for American corporations to manufacture externally than internally. And you're like, okay, that makes perfect sense. China has a huge manufacturing plant in Mexico. They're going to offload all those jobs. All the Americans are going to lose their jobs. How is that a good thing? How is it a good thing for us to build shit other places? To maximize top line revenue for, bottom line revenue for corporations when it comes to the expense of the like regular middle-class American folks. How is that a good thing? So like when he's doing stuff like that, and then you have the machine fighting against him all the time. I mean, there's no way for me to know what's like, just to be fair to being open-minded about things. I will certainly acknowledge I don't understand how things really work. What I do understand is that I know there is a lot more that goes into like geopolitical negotiations and managing the world than I understand. I know that for sure. And the relationships, I don't know the nuances of the relationships. So it is possible that the people who do truly understand that are like, Trump is going to destroy this, and this is what's going to happen. It's possible. But I have lost complete and total faith in that side to the point where I'm willing to roll the dice on Trump because I at least know that what he's trying to do is help all of us, and it's in our best interest. Simple as that. Gianna Gambino, thank you again for the super chat. Jesse knows this, but fentanyl killed my brother. I hate this. Yeah, dude. I'm sorry. Again. But yeah, I lost one of my best friends died from fentanyl like maybe a year and a half ago. And another one of my best friends, another one of my friends died in 2020, fentanyl. Like one of them, the guy that died most recently was like literally like one of my absolute closest friends from high school. And you know what I've realized now is, you know, like people that you know who are like high and drunk all the time, like fucking all the time, all day, every day, sloppy, you know, like usually they kind of drift out of your life because you can't have them around, you know, as much, but like the people that do that and you're kind of like, how is this guy withstanding that? Around 40 years old is where their body gives out. Like Gabrielle just had a friend of hers die like that, you know, like he was just high and drunk all the time, every day for 20 years. And then his body gave out and died. Like the one of mine who died of I think like fentanyl is like the straw that broke the camel's, but there was something going on with his body before to where his body was just giving out, you know, like he'd smoke 1,000 cigarettes a day. He would be drinking drunk as fuck every single day. He would take any pill that was there. You know, I've never understood that. Like, yeah, anyway, but yeah, him. And then the one who died in 2020, he's the one that I was, like when I had my bout with pills, he's the one that basically instigated that, you know, like he's the one that showed me, like when I first got out of college, that you could just order Norcos online. Like that was back when you could do like the phone consultation. And it's like, okay, yeah, we'll give you $90 a month. And then you're like, all right. And then you're like, can I do this with other websites? Oh yeah, you can do it with like 10. It's like, so I can get unlimited Norcos. It's like, yeah, it's like, all right, cool. And that's when I learned that I can't have unlimited Norcos without absolutely any shred of doubt. It's like the road that leads to the most certain place in the world, which is me, a sniveling drug addict that has to go through withdrawal. But I quit and he didn't. And so his just like progressed to the point where he was doing like those like fentanyl patches. I guess you would like cut him open. I don't even know how this works. He like cut the patch open, then put him in his cheek or something. I don't know. And then I think he took fake ones and he died in his car. It's fucking gnarly, man. Oh man. Sorry, dude. Honestly, I guarantee we start going through like, hey, anybody lost anyone to fentanyl? You're gonna have a lot of people, dude. A lot. Thank you, Gianna. Like my methodology is like, I can't remember what they called it, but there's like actually like a name for how I approached it. And it's like, it's not abstinence from everything. It's I think it's called like risk mitigation or something. I don't know. But it's like, yeah, like I don't white knuckle it. I just know, like, I can't take those. Like that type of thing, I can't take it at all. But like, I'll have a drink with Gabrielle. I mean, I don't drink very much, but like, I have no issues doing that or whatever. It's just like, anyway, it's not just like, I don't do anything. I just don't do those because those are like, I can't keep that under control. I just can't do it. Suboxone, I'm on the fence about Suboxone personally, just because it is, I mean, it's like, it's great for people who are on the train to like OD, you know, it's obviously much better than that. My issue with Suboxone is that they intentionally made it so long acting that it's nearly impossible to quit, like impossible, because there's no, like you can make it fast acting. You know what I mean? Like you could do it and have the half-life be short. And that way people can use it to get used to not being on whatever, and then they could get off of it. But when you make the half-life fucking 50 hours or whatever it is, or 6, I don't even know what it is, some ludicrous amount, then it just compounds in the brain every time, you know, like, oh, take 8 milligrams, take 12 milligrams a day. It's like, okay, well, the original 12 milligrams is not out of your system even close by 24 hours. So you're just compounding. And with a half-life that long, dude, when people kick, I've heard when people kick in jail, they're like going through withdrawal for months. You know? I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I would say, listen, like of the people who have started Suboxone, it's very, very challenging to get off. I got off of them, but it took me, like I weaned down from 8 milligrams a day to 0.5 milligram a day, and it took 9 months. 9 months. And you know, again, if someone's going to die, you know, like they're on the path to death, like, yeah, put them on Suboxone. But someone who's kind of on the fence about it, they're like, you know, I just don't really want to, I don't want to go through withdrawal. You know, I'm taking a, like I've heard of people going on Suboxone because of kratom. And I'm like, whatever doctor did that should lose their fucking license. You know, like that's insane. But you know, someone's, oh, you know, I've been taking 3 Norcos a day, and like, I don't know, I think it's going to be really uncomfortable to quit. It's like, yeah, it's going to be, but do that unless you want to be on Suboxone for the fucking rest of your life. And it's like, you know, well, how does Suboxone work? Well, you take it and you won't get sick, and also it blocks your ability to get high. So even if you did take a Norco, it wouldn't work. It's like, all right, cool. And they're like, oh wow, sounds like a miracle. You're all, hey, why don't you ask the follow-up question? How does it do that? Like, how does it do the thing where it blocks you from getting high? Why? Well, just how does it do it? I don't know. Well, it blocks your brain's chemical ability to release dopamine in the same way and serotonin like it normally would, right? So like you take a pill, you dump serotonin and dopamine into your brain, and that's what makes you high. Okay, well, when you take Suboxone, it blocks your brain's ability to do that. Okay, so it doesn't just block your ability to get high, it blocks your ability to get happy or excited about fucking anything. Okay, winning lottery ticket. You know, like that's why I was like, I have to get off this shit. It's because I like, no matter what was going on, I couldn't ever feel excited or happy about anything. Now, you don't have to get all the way off for that to stop happening. It's like once you get below 2 milligrams, your brain kind of turns back on. But it's fucking hard, dude. Like it's really hard. It took a long time. Suboxone strips were going for $1,200 a piece. How is that even possible? How could anybody afford that? $1,200 a strip. Yeah. I mean, again, like I said, dude, if someone is like, has a really, really, really serious issue and they're likely to die, I don't have any issue with putting them on Suboxone, but prescribing Suboxone to a person who has a manageable habit that they could very easily get off on their own is bullshit. In fairness, I don't think doctors understand though. As a matter of fact, I know they don't. Why would they? If they're not an addict themselves and they've never dealt with it themselves, how would they know? You know what I mean? All they know is, oh, okay, so it blocks your ability to get high, whatever, which is true. But if they've never done it, they don't realize, you're like, yeah, you're completely nullifying your ability to feel excited or happy about anything. Did I go through a weird phase where everything starts coming back? Sex drive, passion for music, ability to cry. Kind of. I mean, yes, but For me, it was gradual because I was weaning down. And then so like once you get under 2 milligrams, it starts like slowly coming back. It's not the same as like, because honestly, pills does the same thing to you. Pills numb you out, you know, like at first, when you're, you know, at first, it makes everything amazing. It makes music amazing, makes movies amazing, makes fucking everything unbelievable. You're so happy all the time, no matter what. But then obviously you get into the routine and then it just turns you into a numb face where like, you know, there's no difference for you if you're in your own house watching a movie or you're on a private jet with your hero on the way to like Bangkok. It's like you're going to feel the same as far as you're concerned because your external circumstances have no impact on how you feel. The only thing that dictates how you feel is whether or not you're taking pills. Like if you're on a lot of them, you feel great. If you're not on a lot, you don't feel great. It's literally that simple. It just takes all external factors out of it. But like, so when I got off pills straight, like when I would kick, go through withdrawal, and then come out on the other side, everything rushed back to me like a fucking tsunami instantly. And I like people have told me that their experience has not been like that, but it was always like that for me. I mean, I remember that very clearly. Every single time that would happen, I would like the first kind of day that I felt good, I would put on headphones and I would just go walk and listen to music. And I literally would just be like, I am going to go take over the fucking world. I forgot who I was. I always said that. I'm like, I completely forgot who I was. Because you do. It turns your light out. You forget who you are. Yeah, buprenorphine, that's Suboxone. It's all the same. My doc at one point was giving me the 12 milligram ones. Dude, I've had people tell me on here dosages that defy logic on a level where you're like someone told me that they were taking 24 milligrams a day. I'm like, 20, why? That's the other thing about Suboxone. Anybody who is ever going, if you ever end up in a situation where you're going to start them, I cannot stress this enough. Okay. These doctors don't know what the fuck they're doing. You do not need more than four milligrams. I'm telling you that right now. I don't care how big your habit is, like of what you're coming off of. Okay. If they try to get, oh, well, you're coming off all this, like you need fucking 24 milligrams. Like, no, you do not. It's not going to make like Suboxone. The trap also is for the first like week, it does make you feel high. So drug addicts are like, oh shit, son. So the doctor's going to be giving me these, but that goes away in a week. And then you feel nothing. Like, and that's universal. So a week later, you're now trapped. The more you're taking, there's absolutely no positive impact at all. The only impact is negative. It makes it to where you feel zero. Okay. Once you go over a certain threat. So like you're just compounding, you're making it more and more impossible to get off of for no upside, absolutely no reason to be on that shit that high. Suboxone's literally the most addictive. It's literally the most addictive thing there is because it's so challenging to get off. No, this is not correct. So I mean, yes, Ibogaine, but not for Suboxone. I'm telling you this absolutely for sure. This is like, there are some Ibogaine clinics that will say that they can treat Suboxone with Ibogaine. It's not true. I'm telling you that straight up. Do not make that mistake. Matter of fact, if you have a place tell you, I mean, if they have some very, very complicated long form Ibogaine treatment that they account for how much more challenging Suboxone is, then you need to talk to some people who have gone through it to make sure that you understand what you're signing up for. But if they just kind of like, if they just go, oh yeah, you know, we can do Suboxone, no problem. Do not go to that clinic. It's the kind of clinic that'll fucking roll you into a ditch if things go sideways. Like that shit is not true. I saw it with my own eyes, dude. When I went out there and when I did Ibogaine, you know, the place I did, it's like a house, but it's like a medical clinic also. But you interact with all the other people who are there. And like, so I'm interacting, and there was this one girl who we knew was there that I never saw. Like, I just never saw her, except I like saw in a room when she was doing a treatment and she was completely flattened, like laid out. And they told her that she needed to be off Suboxone for, I think they said 8 weeks. So she actually had to go, and I'm not suggesting anyone does this at all, but she had to go back onto like regular opioid pills. Like she had a prescription or whatever, so she knew it was what she was getting. So she had to go back on regular opioids to get her brain used to like the short half-life, so then she could go do Ibogaine and it would work. And whatever the amount of time that she did was not enough time, and so she was fucking wrecked, like absolutely wrecked. Because the Suboxone half-life is so long, you know. And again, like I did Ibogaine. I've never taken one. I've never taken it in one of those things since. Not one. None. You know, and so it works. Like it worked for me. I also, after I did Ibogaine, I microdosed mushrooms for 6 months afterwards. And I think that actually had a really big impact of like getting me through the like initial phase where your brain is still like, we take pills, we take pills, we take pills, we take pills, you know, like, mine was not 13,000. It was 10. I have heard this as well. Yeah, no, Ibogaine is specifically for this. And the way I ended up doing Ibogaine was I got connected with this guy who does like ayahuasca and DMT. Like he leads people with them or whatever, and he got recommended to me. And when he's very thorough. He really wants to understand why you're doing, like, what's your purpose, what's your goal, like, what do you know? And I don't know. I just trusted him. And so I told him the truth was like, I'm like, because I was trying to do DMT, I think. And I was like, I need a shift in my brain that will enable me to stop taking these fucking pills, man. And he was just like, well, you need Ibogaine. You don't worry about any of this stuff. That's what Ibogaine does. I'd never heard of it before. And then, yeah, Ibogaine is fucking wild, dude. It is. I mean, I have heard that people like it if they do it sober. Like if you know, they're not like coming off of shit, but coming off of it, you will avoid the majority of the withdrawal. But that shit doesn't come for free. Like it doesn't come for free. You are going to go down a, like, I can't remember what that movie is, but there's like a movie where there's like a magic mirror. And when you look into the mirror, it shows you who you really are. Like it might be Harry Potter or something. I don't know. That's Ibogaine. Is a 13-hour look into a mirror where every lie you've ever told yourself, every lie you constantly tell yourself is gone. It's like, this is who you are. This is who you really are. And a lot of people don't like what they see, you know, like really don't. For me, mine was all about my decision making. Like I didn't have any, like I talked to all these people that did it, and some of them had these like really like, you know, shocking revelations about themselves personally. I didn't have any of that. What I had was like a person just slapping me over and over and over and like, do you understand how fucking stupid this decision? Like, you understand what you're doing here? Like, it's like, hello, Do you understand the risk that you're taking right here? Like, you understand what happens if this is more just like you think too short term and impulsively, and that is the bane of your fucking existence. And since then, I mean, I don't know if it was because of Ivy Game, but I have completely shifted my thinking to like long-term goals. Jiu-jitsu, perfect example. That's when I started doing jiu-jitsu. And because before that, I could just never even, I'm like, dude, it's gonna be like 2 years until I'm like not a white belt. Like 2 years sounded like forever. Now I've been doing it for 4, and it's like, you know, I'll be a black belt in, I don't know, 5 years, something like that. And that's doable. I just keep going. You know what I mean? And the YouTube channel, same thing. Just post every day, dude. Harm reduction. Exactly, Daniel Torby. That's exactly right. Harm reduction. Lazy bro, Ibogaine is an amazing drug, but you need to switch to a short-acting opioid first. I did it at home with lots of research. You can get it online. But again, I mean, this is absolutely correct. I am not suggesting anyone does this though, because that would be very I'm not giving anybody any kind of medical advice at all. But from what I've heard, for it to work, you have to switch to something short acting for, I don't know, multiple months. I would suggest 3 if it were me, but I'm not suggesting anyone does it. MVP, I can't go below 2 milligrams Subutex after 20 years of 8 milligram plus. So the reason for that is because 2 milligrams. Okay. So like, remember how I said once you go over a certain threshold, like you're just taking more for absolutely no reason. So 2 milligrams, when they do scans of the brain, above 2 milligrams, it's like the whole brain is blanketed with Suboxone. Once you go under 2 milligrams, that's where it lightens up. Like that's the threshold where it is different. If you're taking 1.5 milligrams versus 2, that is actually different. If you're taking 4 instead of 3, or you're taking 8 instead of 7, that shit doesn't matter. 2 is the threshold where it matters. And it's not easy, but I'm telling you right now, having done this, when you go from 2 to like, you don't go from 2 to 1.5. You go from like 2 to like 1.8 or something. And it sucks, at least for me, at night, for maybe like two nights, maybe 3, where you can't sleep and you're going to have crazy restless legs. Just prepare yourself to go lay in the shower. So you're going to have to suck it up for 3 days, but then you will normalize. And it's not like full throttle withdrawal or anything. It's just like you're very uncomfortable. Just uncomfortable though, not withdrawal, for 3 days. And then your body will normalize. And now you're normalized under the 2 milligrams and you'll start to feel happy again. You know. Gianna, thank you again. Thank you for sharing all your experience. Very informative. Much love and respect. Much love and respect to you, girl. Thank you very much. I just have, dude, I got no shame in my game, dude. I will. So we went from 300 milligrams of Adderall to 200 milligrams. That's funny, dude. Yes, that's correct. Restless legs is 100% the worst part. I'll tell you this too. So one thing about Suboxone also, I don't know if any of you guys have ever gone into precipitous withdrawal. I always thought it was a myth because like the pills that I had always taken were just like Norcos, actually. Like I was just a boring ass hydrocodone guy, And so while on Suboxone, I could go off and then on, right? Like, so I could go on, take, if I got however many, I could take them for 10 days. And then as soon as I run out, I just start taking Suboxone again, right? Which I have heard from my brother, who was a drug counselor for many years, that is like totally standard procedure. And that's what people do all the time. What I learned the hard way is that, I had always heard about precipitous withdrawal where you take Suboxone and it actually throws you into completely full throttle withdrawal And I always thought that was like a myth. I'm like, oh, that doesn't happen to me, man. You know, like that doesn't happen to me. And what I learned is it didn't happen to me because I was taking hydrocodone. But if you're taking fentanyl, okay, that is what. So I had been taking fake oxys for, I don't know, 3 months that were fentanyl. I knew they were fentanyl, but I was a drug addict. So I just kept doing it anyway because I'm an idiot. This is the end of my opioid experience here. This is how it all fucking ended. Was like, I took one of those fake oxys, and I got so fucking blitzed, like blitz beyond, like couldn't hold my head up, you know? And I remember being like, holy shit, that's a misdosed pill. Like, you know, like how people just take one and all of a sudden they fucking die because like they get the dosage wrong because they're fake. So I knew I had gotten a misdosed pill and I got absolutely obliterated by this thing. And so I was like, okay, this is it. I have kids, man. Like I can't do this shit. Like I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to die on my fucking daughters. So that's when I decided, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be done with these things. So I flushed them and then went and took a Suboxone because I had Suboxone still. And I remember that maybe like 20 minutes after I took it, I felt this like, and I was like, wait a minute, this is a very familiar feeling. Oh my God. And then it just hit me all at once. I was like, oh my God, dude. Oh my God. The thing, like, this is the thing. This is the precipitative withdrawal thing. And so the terror that came over me where I realized I was about to go into full throttle fentanyl withdrawal and there's nothing I could do about it. There's nothing I could do about it, dude. Because that's what, like, for whatever reason with fentanyl, it strips it off the receptors and then like it doesn't. So Gabrielle was out of town too. And so I had the kids by myself. Oh my God, man. It was fucking awful, dude. It was fucking awful. It was the worst ever. It lasted for about maybe 2 days, like day and a half to 2 days of just like fucking hell on earth. And then that really solidified. I'm like, I'm fucking done with these things, dude. And I went and did Ibogaine, never touched them ever again. But yeah, dude, those, man. Yeah, it's the worst, dude. I remember like sitting in the shower. It's probably 2 a.m. or something, the middle of the night. And I was in so much pain. I was just thinking in my head, like, if I didn't have kids and I didn't know how long this was going to last, if I wasn't, if I was a pussy, like I could see how people eat a bullet to not have to go through this, like I was never going to do it. But like, I was just saying, like, a person who does not have such a strong reason to live and is not, like someone who's soft, like I know I'm fucking hard when it came to that shit. I successfully started and got through. Like I never once actually started a cold turkey process and didn't get through it. Every single time I committed to it and I got through it. Most like people can't do it. They'll crack. But it's just the worst. It's just, if you've never done it, you just can't even imagine how much it hurts, dude. It's the absolute worst thing of all time. So the time I decided to completely stop when I was probably about 10 milligrams a day. Yeah, dude, if you're coming off 10, if you're going 10 a day cold turkey, that shit's, especially if you don't know how to do it and you're not doing anything to mitigate it, like, because there are things that actually will make it easier. It's still fucking hell on earth, but it can make it a little bit easier. At least in my opinion, my experience, I'm not telling anybody to do anything, but for me, the keys were Requip, which is a drug that gets prescribed for restless leg syndrome. It's actually a Parkinson's drug, but it's prescribed for restless legs. You do a ridiculous, or at least not you. You guys should not do this. What I did, I took a pretty high dose of Requip, and then I would take boatloads of melatonin, boatloads. And for whatever reason, those two things, and then kratom, obviously, like that mitigated it a lot, like a lot. You know, it's probably, I mean, it would at least knock it down 35%. Still hell on earth. But the first time when you come off cold with no mitigating, oh my God, dude. People just cannot even understand, dude. 1280s a day. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Said right after our last dose. Oh my God. So you went straight into you went straight into withdrawal. Like, actually, I don't even know about Oxy. If that, I don't know if like, did you go into the straight withdrawal or no? Yes, I do. Kratom is like kratom. The people who compare like kratom to like Oxy and stuff, I'm like, dude, it's not the fucking same, dude. It's literally like, if Oxy and all that is like, if Oxy is blow and fentanyl is meth, then kratom is like a half a cup of coffee. Not to mention, if you take more of the kratom, you'll just throw up. So there's no like way to bump your dose up and get like, it's just not even the same thing at all. Yep. No, listen. If you're actively heavy on any of those things, you won't even feel it. You won't feel it. Because kratom is so mild, you just won't feel it. Because like you're talking about, like I said, like it's super mild. All it does for me is just like, you know, and I always say this, the reason I never talk about it is because when I promote, you know, a source for it, I always say, if you are a person who uses it, I never suggest people start using it. It's the only time that I am like, oh yeah, you know, this might be a good option for you. People, or listen, I never tell anybody what to do medically ever, but like the only time that if I was having a conversation with someone in my regular life that I might suggest it would be if they were an opioid addict and they come off, because it takes the edge off and it just makes it to where it's like, it just scratches the itch just enough to where you don't, or at least I had not, like, I don't even think about pills ever. You know, it's super mild for me. YoKratom.com. Dude, kratom is definitely not placebo. Dude, I remember after I did the Ibogaine and had been off for a while, the first time that actually, I'm not going to talk about that, but yeah, it works. Freshly off subs when you tried it. Yeah. Dude, if you're like clean, don't do it. There's no reason. You know what I mean? This is correct. It's correct. It's not an opioid. It's actually a relative of the coffee plant. But it like, you know, just kind of a little bit like touches the receptors. But if you take more, the best thing about it is that like, you know, so like if you take an Oxy and you like it, if you take 2, you'll really like it. And if you get used to 2 and you take 4, you'll really like it. Kratom, not like that. You take kratom and you're like, ooh, this is nice. You're all, oh, I'm going to take twice as much. You'll throw up and feel like dog shit. So there's no upside. Like not only is there no upside in taking more, there's a huge downside in taking more. Went into DTs. They said, oh, yeah, dude. Man, there was a guy down in the Ibogaine place when I did it where he was like he was a real alcoholic, like a daily, you know, like a hardcore vodka in his Pepsi in the office guy, you know, like a genuine fucking straight up alcoholic. And I'd never really spoken to somebody who was being like honest about their experience with booze. Cause I like, again, it's just booze, not my thing. And man, it sounds horrendous. Horrendous. Oh man. I've heard going through withdrawal in jail is just the absolute worst thing ever. Yeah. Father, high functioning alcoholic in ways is worse. This is what I've always said, dude. Is like I used to always think that like when I used to do this shit, like I still kept my life together. You know, like I had a job. I was, you know, doing well across the board in my life, you know, for the most part. And it's like, so I always thought of myself as like better than other drug addicts, you know, like I'm like, I don't even get it, dude. These guys, hey, what's wrong, man? You can't be spracked out on pills and keep your fucking job, dog. You can't like I thought I was like better than people, which is ridiculous. I was just a high functioning drug addict at the time, you know, where like, and the problem with that is you never are given a reason that you have to like face the issue and then get off, you know? And honestly, that's what people need. Like people are like, oh, they have to hit rock bottom first. I mean, not necessarily rock bottom. Like in my case, I took a pill that I knew was overdosed and it made me realize like, oh, I could fucking die taking these for real. And so that was the end for me. As soon as you put like your children on it, you know, like where it's like my daughters could grow up without a father. There's a very strong motivator to get you through pretty much anything. Brother would have to be hospitalized to withdraw. Yeah, that's what I heard, dude. Yeah, apparently like, people can die from it, dude. I didn't take anything to get off Suboxone. I had to wean down over a matter of very long period of time. Yeah, until it kills your fucking bank account. I talked to a dude, buddy of mine who, you know, like when I talk about this, this is the thing. I've said this a million times. Like a person having gotten spracked out on pills, I think in most cases, they keep that real tight to the vest, you know, like where they're like, ooh, I don't want them to know that. And like, I don't give a fuck, you know, like there's nothing in my life that I have any shame about. And so I'll just come out with it. And it's it's so crazy how many people have gone through the exact same thing. It's like, I honestly think that you're looking at a majority of people have either gone through it themselves or have someone close to them that's gone through it also. That's why it's like, yeah, like, I don't know. It's just like, it's like a thing that happens. It's literally like, it is a genetic biological thing. Okay. Now, if you're a goody two shoes that never takes anything, then that's good for you. But if you're an edgy, dark fuck like us, fucking chances are you're probably going to try a lot of different things that, you know, when you're young. And the thing about it is like, if you're wired for opioids, it's inevitable where you're going, dude. Like, it's going to happen. It's as simple as that. It's not in your control because you don't realize, you don't understand until you end up there. You know, if you're wired for opioid addiction and you have as soon as you get a regular source for them, that is where you're going. That's why I have no shame about it. you know? Yeah. It happens to anyone who's wired for it. I've said this a million times on the channel, and I will continue to say it. There are 3 types of people when it comes to opioids as it relates to your reaction to taking them. Okay. You have option 1 are people will immediately throw up. They get sick. Second, they take a Vicodin, take Oxy, they'll just throw up and they get very, very sick. Those obviously are not going to have any issue. The second kind, they fall asleep. Like if you ask someone, you're all, oh, like what happens when you take it? They're all, I just crash out and fall asleep. They're not going to get addicted either. The third option is they're like, I don't know, man, those things give me energy. There's only 3 options. Like there's not a fourth. There's throw up, sleep, or gives me energy. Gives me energy. You give that person a regular source, they're going to get hooked for sure. It's literally just genetics. I've literally never even seen meth. Like I've never even seen it. I have no experience with it whatsoever. They'll never know it's the devil in disguise. Well, I mean, thank you for the super chat. I mean, they'll know, they'll find out the hard way. But it's like, I don't know. I'm just like I like where I'm at. So I'm just kind of, I'm glad everything that's happened to me. But that feeling of being trapped, hooked on whatever is one of the worst feelings in the entire world. Just one of the worst feelings in the world. Because you just feel like, most things in your life, you're like, all right, I want to do this. And you do that thing. When you're trapped like that, you're like in a prison because you're like, you want off, but the anguish that you would have to go through to be able to like rid yourself of that is so astronomical. That's very challenging for most people to deal with. Oh yeah. That's the whole first hour of this stream, dude. Yep. Yeah, dude. You are very welcome, Nikki. But yeah, you're right about the legit pain. That's how, that's what again, I feel like I've told all these stories 1,000 times, but, the first time I kicked off of hydrocodone was hell on earth. And I would have never, ever, ever taken another one for the rest of my life. Like I was off completely for 5 years. And then I got a Pseudomonas infection in my eye, which is equivalent to like a staph infection, but in your eyeball. And it was eating through my eye. I was in so much fucking pain that it was like, I can't even explain it, dude. You know how people are if you get poked in the eye. Well, imagine something's eating through your eye. And I just fucking snapped on a doctor and basically just cornered him, like, give me something for this. And that basically started I don't even know how many years. But that one thing led to the entire second saga of pills in my life. You lost your right eye due to staph infection? Sorry, man. That sucks. Staph's gnarly, dude. I had it twice in the last, 6 months. $90 milligrams a day. He wanted you to take 9 hydrocodones a day. Listen, I can tell you right now, you want me to know, like, the old drug addict version of Jesse on Fire would have seen this and I would have emailed you and been all, hey, so look, man, like maybe you could get that prescription filled and then like I'll send you some cash and then you can send them to me. You know what I mean? But I would never take them ever. That's a lot, dude. I'm pretty straightforward now, dude. I'll pop an Adderall here and there, depending on, basically, dude, that's the thing is for me, I've always been genetically cursed with something different, which is my youngest daughter has the same thing. I'll fall asleep at fucking 8:00 at night. Normally, like if I just left to my own devices, like my brain, like I'm up early rocking and then, kind of operating this speed. It's like I just vomit out all of my awake hours. And then like right around 8, I'm like, So I always, I had like a cheat code for staying awake because I would fall asleep otherwise. It's crazy. Jits has crazy staff outbreaks. Honestly, like I can't really say if I got it. I don't think like I didn't hear of anybody else at Six Blades having it. But I had it. And I have honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I got it there or whatever. But like, when I had it, obviously I didn't grapple. So it was like, how did I kick the drugs and alcohol? Rewind in this stream. Thank you for the super chat. You just got to figure out like what you can and can't do under control. And the things that you can't do under control, you got to cut those out, dude, permanently. White staff seems to run rampant at gyms. Oh, that's simple, dude. The way that you get staph. So basically, like staph infection is like they're basically like little whitehead things, right? And if you pop them, that's where the staph is like it's like on the inside of that. And then if that shit touches anyone's skin and they have even a tiny little like opening in their skin or break, like just anything like open at all in the skin, then they're going to get it. So it's like in grappling, like you're rubbing friction all over people and then they get it and then they fucking give it to the next guy. Cause it's like, it's an absolutely perfect environment to spread that shit around. Our gym is super fucking clean though. Like there's been like no straight up breakouts of staph. Like when I got it, I actually got it when I was in Mexico on vacation. Like I just had it right there and I didn't know what it was. And so I just started popping them like a fucking idiot, and every time I popped one, like I would be like, I just didn't know what it was. And so my hands were all dirty. Every time I did it was like, it would just get bigger and bigger and bigger until all of a sudden my hand was fucking this big and it was gnarly. The cheat code, I said, I had an Adderall prescription. But yeah, I don't take it. People think I'm like on Adderall every day. I'm not, dude. I'm not at all. This is just what I'm like, yo. Oh shit, Gabrielle. What the fuck? We need a new foundation on our house. You know what the quote that I just got was? $65,000. 65 fucking grand. What the fuck? How is that even possible? Whatever. It's the right time for us to get hit with that. We got a lot of dough right now, but still, what the fuck, dude? I could buy a new fucking car for 65 grand. Fucking 65 grand. That's ludicrous. I'm going to call my dad and complain about that. My dad likes complaining about things that cost a lot. Although in his life, generally, it's like, he's like, oh, 65 grand. I'm spending that on our fucking first class round trip tickets to this place, this place, this place. Because him and his lady are retired and rich now. Why don't you buy some stocks and bonds instead of the items? Huh? It's a foundation on my fucking house, I'm saying. Like, believe me, I don't want to fucking do it, dude, at all. But the like our foundation is fucked up. So I've never heard of it costing 65 fucking grand though. That seems really high. Our house built like let's find out. Built. What the fuck is it? I think it's built in built 2006. Built in 2006. Oh, 100%. I'm going to get another estimate. For sure. Thank you, Kenny. $12 G's on your Porsche foundation? Fuck, dude. All right. Dude, you know how do you guys ever feel like unexpected bills come in your life? Like if you have like a major shift in your income in a positive direction, do you ever feel like you always get like an accompanying fucking bill out of nowhere that's kind of like a similar size? You know what I mean? Like I've always felt like that, dude, where it's like, oh man, dude, look, we got all this money coming in. And then it's like, oh, well, we got to spend 12 G's on blah, blah. It's like, Jesus. And it's always like, and like fucking 65 grand. I mean, we're fine to do that right now, which honestly, I just feel grateful that that's not that big of a deal. But I swear that happens every single time. I feel like, hold on. That is so crazy. See, look at that shit. $65 fucking grand. Anyway, that's what I'm saying, dude. I honestly just feel grateful that we could get a bill like that and it's not the end of the world. No, dude, I'm not doing a GoFundMe. We can afford it. But I appreciate you, dude. It's like, help me. I need a new foundation. Did I know Khalil? I know. I mean, like I met Khalil I met Khalil at the Bitcoin conference in Miami in 2022. Did you guys know that Khalil used to be 300 pounds and that he started doing mixed martial arts to get in shape? It's fucking wild, dude. Bro, I would let Bryce Mitchell homeschool my children. I love that guy. I'll double check. I'll double check the information that's going into their brains. Sometimes I'll be like, look, guys, what he said over here is great, but the earth is definitely not flat. But we love him, but the earth's not flat, I definitely was never cool enough to go to a Diddy party. Thank God. Yeah, but in the long run, I mean, that's very unfortunate about the foundation. That's not a thing that most people end up having to do. You just got unlucky. But we'll never sell this house. We'll even if we move, we'll keep this house and and rent it out. Exactly. I was never cool enough to get fucked by Diddy, dude, which is unfortunate for me because I heard he got that magic dick. I'm just kidding. Yeah, dude. The bodies being found in the mud and trees and floods. It's gnarly, man. I looked at that the other day, and it was just like, it's just like unfathomable, like carnage, and just destruction. Like I saw the guy getting interviewed where he's like, I watched the business that I've owned for 41 years float away. Think about that, dude. Like a person's, it's their business, like their business is a physical thing, and their physical building. Like I thought about that after, and it fucking tripped me out, dude. I was like, whoa, dude, that is really fucking crazy. Dude, that's good though. Biden spent 15 out of the last 30. He should spend 30 out of 30 at the beach. What the fuck's he going to do? You know what I mean? Seriously, what is he possibly going to contribute to anything that's happening? You know what I mean? What could he possibly contribute? You stay right there, dude. Stay right there, Joe Biden. I did look into it, dude. It's not flat. It's definitely not flat, man. I worked for the largest private satellite company in the world. I'm telling you, it's not flat, man. Pentagon announced its Iran is 1-2. No, it did. Oh my God. Hang on, let me look that up. Iranian missile attack on Israeli. No. Iran hawks in Israel and the United States are already offering up recommendations. Perfect opportunity for Israel to finally wipe out Iran's nuclear program. Foreign policy analyst. Only problem: bombing Iran's nuclear program is as ridiculous of a proposition today as it was when it was floated by Bolton in 2007. Wait. Well, there's no doubt the Israel Defense Forces have demonstrated their reach over the past year. Much of Iran's vast nuclear infrastructure is buried deep underground. At least a portion of Iran's nuclear complex could be destroyed, but others would be left standing. Don't we have bunker bombs or whatever? Let's assume that Israel could physically annihilate the program. That would be a tactical success. But how long would that success last? Who gives a shit? Is that an actual comment? Be a tactical success, but how long would the success last? Well, if what you're talking about on the other side is a nuclear capable Iran, like that seems like a dumb question. Unless all of Iran's nuclear scientists were magically killed during the operation, Tehran would still preserve the knowledge it gained over more than 2 decades of nuclear work to rebuild at a time and pace of its choosing. Eliminating a structure is easy. Eliminating the knowledge is far more difficult. Are these people retarded? Man, I was almost running out of steam on this stream. Are these people actually retards? This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Oh, it's the knowledge that's important? Really? It's the knowledge that's important. Hey, not the thousands of centrifuges that need to spin the uranium, to get the light particles and pull them out, since that's what you need for weapons grade uranium. Okay. Does this person know fucking anything about nuclear weapons? Like that is so dumb. Oh, well, listen. You need to think about the knowledge that they have. The knowledge is what's important. No, the industrial infrastructure to enrich uranium is what's important. Okay. If you want to make an atomic bomb, there is one part of it that is complicated and very challenging: enriching the uranium. Okay. Once you have enriched uranium, you can literally take a gun, okay, like just any gun, have enriched uranium here, and then have enriched uranium here, and then you literally fire a bullet of enriched uranium into the other enriched uranium. Boom, chain reaction, boom. Okay, this is like atomic weapons are simple. It's enriching the uranium that's very, very challenging. And you have, thousands of these things. So they separate the particles or isotopes or whatever, and the ones that weigh, because they weigh different. That's how you isolate them, and then you pull out the ones that are weapons grade. Takes forever. Hey, so I have the knowledge. Hey, can I just go build an atomic bomb now? Because I know that you need centrifuges to spin the uranium and fucking pull it out. Like, hey, dude, I have the knowledge. I guess infrastructure is not the important part. So dumb. Send me the geotech report. I don't even know what that means. Another question needs to be asked: would bombing Iran's nuclear program scare the Iranians into giving up their nuclear pursuits? Who cares? History is a guide. Every time Israel has knocked out part of Tehran's nuclear program through covert operations or cyber attacks, Iranian officials have retaliated by doubling down on it. So what? They haven't been able to build one because you keep breaking the infrastructure. This often includes limiting access to international inspectors, installing centrifuges that can churn out enriched uranium at a faster clip. Okay, so literally what they're saying is rebuilding the stuff that they broke, okay, and boosting their uranium stockpile. To take one example, when Israel destroyed a centrifuge facility in April 2020, the Iranians decided to replace it with a better defended one. Okay, I'm actually seriously asking, is this the biggest fucking moron in the history of journalism? Like, that sounds like a salient point that you just made. This often includes limiting access to international inspectors. Oh, you mean because they normally give them like full access? And oh no, it was only once we started bombing their centrifuge, complexes is when they started limiting access. Installing centrifuges that can churn out uranium at a faster clip. First of all, why on earth would they need you to blow up their current infrastructure for them to implement a faster uranium enrichment process if they had one? You know what I mean? Like, they could just build that anyway. If that's what they have. Like, why would they require the thing to get blown up for them to do that? It's so fucking stupid. And then, boosting their uranium stockpile. And it's boosting their enriched uranium stockpile. A uranium stockpile is fucking irrelevant. It's the enriched uranium that is important. And then, to take one example, when Israel destroyed a centrifuge facility in April 2020, the Iranians decided to replace it with a better defended one in the Natanz complex. Okay, cool. So again, there's nothing about what you're saying there that require, like, you think that Iran needed their other one to get blown up in order to build a more fortified one? Most importantly, military action would be totally counterproductive to the goal Israel ostensibly wants to achieve, a non-nuclear Iran. What are you talking about? Blowing up their ability to enrich uranium is going to be counterproductive to a non-nuclear Iran? Hey, guys, My goal is to stay dry this week. And so I decided the best way to stay dry was to jump in the pool with my fucking clothes on. What are you talking about? This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Military action would be totally counterproductive to the goal Israel ostensibly a non-nuclear Iran. Okay, so just so we're clear, Israel has nuclear weapons. Iran just hit Israel with 183 ballistic missiles. Israel is going to strike back at Iran. Do you honestly think that something else needs to happen for Iran to be focused on enriching uranium to become a nuclear power? You really think that if Israel attacks their infrastructure, that's going to be the thing that's going to kick it up a notch to where they want to be on even fucking on an even field militarily with nuclear weapons? This is written by an absolute imbecile. This may sound befuddling to some. How could bombing Iran's nuclear program aid its advancement? Right, it can't. Because notwithstanding Iran's ongoing nuclear work, the U.S. intelligence community still assesses that Khamenei has yet to explicitly order the weaponization of Iran's nuclear program. The conclusion was confirmed in the most recent worldwide threat assessment from America's top intelligence official, Avril Haines, whose office wrote that Iran is not currently undertaking the key nuclear weapons development activities necessary to produce a testable nuclear device. Okay, well, the only thing that could mean is enriching uranium. And by the way, hey, why don't you pick a story and stick with it, okay? Are they complying with all of the orders and they're not pursuing a nuclear weapon? Or are they sending assassination teams to kill Trump in the United States, okay? Because those two things cannot exist at the same time. Yeah. You know, they are behaving as it relates to the nuclear weapons. They are not trying to get a leg up militarily, but they are willing to go and assassinate the leading American candidate because, on one side, they're being very reasonable. On the other side, they're completely suicidal. So, so dumb. At present, the cost of constructing a nuclear bomb still outweighs the benefit in Iran's eyes. How do you possibly know that? And that is ridiculous. How would you know that? Cost of constructing a nuclear bomb still outweighs the benefit in Iran's eyes, but this could easily change if Israel starts dropping munitions on Iran's nuclear facilities. Well, a good way to keep Israel from dropping munitions on their nuclear facilities is to shoot 183 ballistic missiles into Israel. All reservations about taking the final step towards weaponization would likely go away. The mere fact that Israel was able to attack the program so blatantly would be the ultimate proof for Iran about why a nuclear deterrent is so highly valuable. You think that they need that as a reason for a nuclear deterrent to be valuable? This is so dumb. That's not like they know exactly why. They know exactly how valuable it is. You want to know why? You want to know why there's one Middle Eastern country that you absolutely never hear us, maybe we should send people in there. Maybe people should go in there. Hey, maybe we should send some troops in there. Which one's that again? Pakistan. Why? Nuclear bombs. Nuclear power. Okay? Nuclear armed countries are at minimal risk of invasion because they can set off a chain of events that would threaten the entire country of any of the people who would respond. This shouldn't be a surprise to Israel, who in 1981 authorized a daring bombing raid to eliminate Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein's nuclear reactor. Israel flattened the reactor, but didn't flatten Hussein's thirst for a nuclear bomb. What? He flattened the reactor, but didn't flatten Hussein's thirst for a nuclear bomb. Oh, because that's what we all want. Hey, I want Gabrielle to enlist 8 Instagram models to take turns blowing me on camera. Does that matter? That's what, because that's what I want. Or do we live in the reality that we live in? Who gives a shit whether what they wanted? They flattened the nuclear reactor. This is so dumb. When asked on October 2nd whether he would support an Israeli attack on Iran's nuclear problem, President Joe Biden replied, "No, it's not. It's the right It's the right answer and one I hope he sticks to." Let's see what else this guy's written, because this was one of the stupidest, honestly, one of the dumbest articles I've ever read in my entire life. What else? So let's see what else he said here. Why is he so pro-Iran? All right, so war with Iran is the last thing the U.S. should want. Should the United States take military action against Iran? While this may sound like a random question without much context, it's one that often pops up whenever something horrible happens in the Middle East. Some lawmakers are on record advocating for the use of force. 2 days after Hamas slaughtered approximately 1,200 people in southern Israel and took another 240 captive last year, Senator Lindsey Graham went on TV and advised President Joe Biden to hit Tehran hard. If there is an escalation in this conflict, if hostages are start getting killed, if Hezbollah, destroy your oil refineries. Okay, so not clear threatening Iran with military action would do much of anything to get the 97 or so hostages in Gaza back to their families, although that's true. Okay, whatever. So this guy, basically, if I was going to summarize your opinions on every single thing, it is don't go to war with Iran, don't attack Iran, let them build nuclear bombs, and everything's fine. Dude, what do you guys think about Candace Owens' theories on Macron's wife? Thank you, sir. I don't think we should go to war with anyone. Treat war like a Diddy party, just don't go. That's funny, dude. That is funny. I hope I didn't keep this stream going so long that people won't watch the first 45 minutes, because everyone needs to see that for sure. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cover that story with Gabrielle on Play with Matches, and it's going to be fucking hilarious. All right. I've been talking long enough. You guys are the best. Thanks for hanging out as long as you did. And definitely look out for that video that I do with Gabrielle later, because it is going to be absolutely priceless. Go follow Play with Matches. Love you guys. Bye-bye.